When Squid Game debuted in 2021, it wasn't just another show, it was a cultural phenomenon that swept across the globe with incredible speed. It felt like a complete, self-contained story, a narrative arc that had reached its natural conclusion. The ending left a lasting impression, seemingly tying up all loose ends. A brutal critique of capitalism with a devastating ending, showcasing the extreme lengths people will go to in the face of economic desperation. The social commentary resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. Guihan's final choice to confront the organization, rather than board the plane to see his daughter, seemed symbolic, not a setup for sequels. It felt like a definitive statement, a powerful closing chapter. But the show's global success, exceeding all expectations and breaking viewership records, made a continuation inevitable. The sheer scale of its popularity created an undeniable momentum. Netflix and creator Hwang Dong-hyuk saw a chance to expand the universe, to delve deeper into the mysteries and explore new facets of this dark world, driven by overwhelming demand. The fans wanted more, and the creative team began to envision a larger story. Season 2 broadened the scope, moving beyond the initial island setting, revealing the game's global reach and hinting at a far more extensive network of participants and organizers. And ending on a cliffhanger, a deliberate move to set the stage for the final act. Guihan must return to the arena to truly end it, to dismantle the entire operation from the inside out. The trilogy format was both a creative risk and a commercial move, a bold decision to fully explore the narrative potential of Squid Game. The challenge: avoid repeating the formula, avoid simply rehashing the same survival game scenario, and instead give Guihan's journey a meaningful conclusion, providing closure to his personal story and addressing the larger societal issues at play. Season 3 shifts the focus from survival to infiltration, a change in genre that promises a different kind of tension. Guihan's mission is to expose and destroy the system from within, becoming a mole within the very organization he once fought to escape. The stakes are higher, the consequences of failure are more dire than ever before. It's not just about outlasting the games, about surviving another round of deadly challenges, but about dismantling the machinery of cruelty itself, about striking at the heart of the operation and bringing it crashing down. The trilogy promises answers to the questions that have lingered since the first season. Who are the VIPs? How deep does the conspiracy go? What are the true motivations behind the games? Can one person change a monstrous system? Can Guihan truly make a difference against such overwhelming power? The world is watching, eager to see how this gripping saga will conclude, waiting to see if Guihan can finally bring the nightmare to an end, and whether justice can prevail in a world consumed by greed and inequality. Season 3 opens with Guihan transformed, a stark contrast to the man we once knew. The weight of his past experiences has reshaped him, forging a new resolve within. He is no longer the desperate debtor, scrambling for survival. He's a man on a mission, driven by purpose and fueled by a burning desire to dismantle the system that stole so much from him. He's spent a significant portion of his winnings supporting the families of those lost in the games, offering them a lifeline and a glimmer of hope in the face of unimaginable grief. But the money can't erase the memories, the guilt that gnaws at him, and the overwhelming need for redemption for surviving when so many others perished. He carries their burdens with him. This time, he returns to the game not out of desperation, but by conscious choice, a deliberate decision to confront the darkness head-on. He's choosing to walk back into the lion's den. He uses the recruiter's card, the very symbol of his initial descent into the games, as his ticket back in, a twisted irony he fully embraces. It's a symbol of his transformation. The organization, always intrigued by the anomaly of a returning winner, particularly one who survived their brutal games, readily lets him in, unaware of the storm brewing beneath his calm exterior. They are completely unaware of his true intentions, the carefully crafted plan he's been meticulously developing since his escape. They see a pawn, but he's a player. They see him as a broken man, perhaps even hoping to exploit his perceived vulnerability for their own twisted amusement. But Guihan is no longer the naive participant they remember. He is now their greatest threat, a force of reckoning they never anticipated. He's trained his body and mind, meticulously studied the system's weaknesses, and prepared himself for the ultimate infiltration. He is determined to sabotage the games from within, to expose the corruption and bring the entire operation crashing down around the VIPs. Guihan keeps his distance from the other players, wary of forming attachments that could be exploited. He's torn between the need for allies in this dangerous game and the lingering pain of past betrayals, the scars of which run deep. His motivation is no longer mere survival or the allure of a monetary prize. Those concerns are long behind him. It's about justice for his fallen friends, a solemn vow he made to honor their memory by dismantling the system that led to their demise. Every new contestant reminds him of those he lost, their faces etched in his mind, their sacrifices fueling his determination. Each memory strengthens his resolve, solidifying his commitment to his mission, pushing him forward even when the odds seem insurmountable. His ultimate goal is to survive long enough to expose the VIPs, the puppet masters pulling the strings from behind the scenes, and reveal their depravity to the world. He aims to dismantle the entire infrastructure of the games, to tear down the walls of this brutal enterprise and ensure that no one else suffers the same fate as his friends. He's not just another player in their twisted game. He's a saboteur, an undercover operative waging a secret war against a powerful and ruthless enemy. The stakes are both deeply personal, driven by vengeance and grief, and globally significant, with the potential to expose a network of corruption that reaches the highest echelons of power. For Guihan, this is no longer a game of chance, a desperate gamble for survival. It's a final battle against an enemy that seems insurmountable, a last stand against a system designed to crush the human spirit. And he's ready to risk everything, his life, his sanity, his future, to achieve his goal and bring justice to those who deserve it. The war has begun, and Guihan is ready to fight. Guihan returns to the dormitory, surrounded by a new cast of desperate players. Key figures emerge. Minjun, a cunning ex-prosecutor seeking to expose a VIP. Jihaya, a compassionate nurse burdened by debt. And an elderly mathematician who relies on probability. There's also a violent gang leader echoing past threats. Alliances form out of necessity, but trust is fragile and suspicion rampant. Guihan recognizes familiar archetypes but knows these are real people, not pawns. His mission is complicated by his instinct to protect others, even as his presence breeds mistrust. Is he a plant, a threat, or a savior? The uncertainty makes his task even more dangerous. The fourth game, the Labyrinth of Lies, is psychological torture at its finest. Players are split into teams, navigating a maze where progress depends on answering personal questions, and teammates voting on their honesty. A wrong vote means instant death for the one questioned. Secrets and traumas are weaponized, turning trust into a liability. Guihan's team, himself, Minjun, Jihye, and the mathematician, quickly fractures under the pressure. Minjun tries to hide his true motives, forcing Guihan into impossible choices. The game exposes the show's core theme. Survival demands betrayal, and the system thrives on moral compromise. By the end, one teammate is lost, and the survivors are left scarred and divided. The labyrinth is a microcosm of the entire Squid Game, forcing players to destroy each other for a chance at life. Trust is shattered, and the path to victory is paved with guilt. The final rounds promise only more pain. The aftermath of the labyrinth is devastating. The mathematician falls, his logic no match for human suspicion. Guihan, Minjun, and Jihye are left reeling, their fragile trust destroyed. Minjun grows more secretive, suspecting Guihan knows too much. Jihye, racked with guilt, withdraws, her compassion now a liability. Across the dormitory, paranoia spreads. The gang leader exploits the chaos, consolidating power. The guards watch as alliances crumble and fear takes over. For Guihan, the betrayals echo his first game, but now he's complicit. To protect his mission, he's forced to make choices that haunt him. The line between hero and monster blurs for everyone. The game's true cruelty is revealed. It destroys not just bodies, but souls. Survival comes at the cost of humanity. While chaos reigns below, the frontman, Hwang In-ho, faces his own crisis. He's aware of Guihan's true purpose, but the VIPs demand order. Guihan, aided by a sympathetic guard, triggers a facility-wide blackout during the fifth game. In the chaos, he reaches the frontman's quarters, aiming to broadcast proof of the games. The confrontation is ideological. In-ho defends the games as twisted equality. Guihan rejects this, insisting true justice can't be built on death. As Guihan nears success, security storms in. In a final act of redemption, In-ho shields Guihan, mortally wounded. With his last strength, In-ho completes the upload, exposing the games to the world. He dies in Guihan's arms, a victim of the system he once ran. The broadcast changes everything. The world now knows. The system is exposed, but the cost is immense. The stage is set for the final reckoning. The world now knows the truth, the horrifying reality of the games, exposed for all to see. News outlets around the globe are reporting on the clandestine operation, the scale of the deception, and the tragic loss of life. But inside the collapsing facility, amidst the dust and debris, the fight for survival continues. The structure groans and shudders, threatening to bury everyone within. Only Guihan, Jihae, clinging to what little hope remains, and Minjun, battered and bruised, remain. Each breath could be their last. The final chilling message echoes through the crumbling halls. Only one can escape. A cruel twist in a game already steeped in despair. The last game is a brutal, desperate race for survival, a chaotic scramble for the single escape pod. No rules, no teams, just raw instinct and the will to live. Minjun, injured but fueled by a fierce determination, rushes for the escape pod, his every step a testament to his resilience. Jihae, broken by the horrors she has witnessed, gives up hope, succumbing to the weight of despair. Guihan faces an impossible choice: save himself, seize the opportunity for freedom, or reject the game's twisted premise entirely, defying the system that has stolen so much. He helps Minjun reach the pod, knowing the young man carries the weight of the future, urging him to finish the fight outside, to expose the truth and seek justice. Then, Guihan stays with Jihae, offering her comfort in their final moments as the facility burns around them, a symbol of the corruption they fought against, refusing to play the final cruel game. His last act is one of profound compassion, a final act of defiance against a system built on cruelty, not victory. By sacrificing himself, choosing empathy over self-preservation, he rejects the system's dehumanizing values and affirms his unwavering humanity. The escape pod launches with Minjun, carrying the hope for a better future. Guihan and Jihae perish together, their sacrifice a testament to the power of human connection. The game ends not with a triumphant winner standing on a podium, but with a powerful statement, a declaration of human spirit, empathy over survival, compassion over greed. Guihan's ultimate sacrifice is the true end of the Squid Game, a final, resounding act of defiance. The cycle of violence and exploitation is broken, not by perpetuating the violence, not by succumbing to the game's cruel logic, but by choosing solidarity, by prioritizing the well-being of others over self-preservation. The world outside, forever changed by the revelations, will never be the same. The fight for justice has only just begun. Guihan's death is not defeat, it's a victory on his own terms. The frontman's broadcast ensures the world knows, but Guihan's sacrifice gives the story its soul. He rejects the game's logic that survival justifies any cost. Exposing the system was crucial, but breaking its philosophy was essential. Guihan proves that even in the face of death, empathy can triumph. His choice redeems his own survival and honors those lost. He refuses to be the last one standing on a pile of corpses. Instead, he chooses solidarity, offering a new way to live. Minjun's escape ensures justice will be pursued, but Guihan's act provides the moral conclusion. True revolution, the show argues, is built on compassion, not just destruction. Months later, the world reels from the revelations. Powerful figures fall, and Minjun becomes the face of justice, using the evidence to dismantle the network. But the emotional core is quieter. Sebyok's brother and Sangwoo's mother, cared for by Guihan's final act of kindness. His legacy is not just in exposing the system, but in caring for those left behind. The ending is bittersweet, hopeful, but not naive. The world is not fixed, but small acts of goodness ripple outward. Guihan's sacrifice, Minjun's fight, and the survival of the families offer hope. The show argues that hope is an active choice, not a passive feeling. Even in darkness, decency and selflessness can spark change. Guihan lost the game but won the war for his soul. In doing so, he gave the world a reason to believe in a better way.